Lovely.
Hello and welcome to tonight's episode of Paropod. Episode 67. We're back again with your hosts, Mark and On.
What's up? What's up?
How's your week been, On?
Week's been pretty good, actually. Pretty chill.
Good vibes?
Good vibes all around. Relaxed to the max.
That's all you could want.
You know.
That's all you want.
Off to London next week.
Yeah, that's a big one. On your hollybops.
On my hollybops.
On the holiday season.
The goal is to not get COVID before going away.
The singular goal.
Yeah.
Hopefully that can be accomplished. It's nearly a year now since I think our immunity is worn off, you know. Even the vaccine thing, you see, you kind of have to get another vaccine, a booster and stuff like that. Fuck that.
Shocking
stuff. I think I had mine, 2-3 months ago now, so I think it's worn off.
It's not worn off, but it's at like 80% or something like that.
It's reduced, yeah. It's mad.
It is mad. It's a pain in the hole is what it is.
Yeah, that's a lot of bollocks. I don't want to be getting, needles every few months.
I was dying every single time I got that vaccine. I don't want to go through that again.
Yeah.
I wanted that to be next year's problem, but that could be coming up to my problem soon.
Yeah, soon enough. Sure luck. Well, you have to get another a test when you come back.
I don't know.
Sure luck.
I don't think so, because between England and Ireland, I don't think you have to do anything.
Oh, right, really?
No PCR test or anything.
Yeah. That's handy. That doesn't really make any sense, though, because they're like way worse than us, aren't they?
Yeah.
I
might end up getting COVID when I'm over there, but...
Well, that's a problem for future you.
That's future me problem. Once I'm there, I don't care.
Then you can blame the Brits. Yeah. But yeah, that'd be good. Yeah.
I have no idea what we're going to do when we're over there, but...
London's a big place.
London is massive.
I've never been, but I'd love to go.
It's very nice. I was there. That was the last... 2019 I was there.
Very good.
Saw a show on Broadway and all. Saw Hamilton when I was over there.
Broadway. Or
Broadway,
West End,
yeah.
Yeah, that's class.
There doesn't seem to be anything on now though, except for like Wicked, which is always on.
That's constantly on, yeah.
I think that just constantly runs.
Yeah. Who wrote that?
No idea. No idea.
Who knows? Doesn't really matter.
Someone wrote it.
It's just wicked.
It's just wicked.
It's
the Wicked Witch of the East, bro.
Bro. But yeah, that's pretty good. I haven't been doing much myself now. Fuck all.
There's nothing really to be doing.
There's nothing to do. Yeah, that's fair. That's very true.
It's the working life, you know.
Yeah, it's the working life. Yeah, but on nights it's so hard. It's actually not hard at all.
No.
Because I sleep during the day. See, I have the worst sleeping pattern of all time at the moment. I sleep from 10 a.m. to 6.
Oy.
But I wake up. I can sleep as long as I want, but every time, no matter how long I sleep, I wake up and I have like black, like it's not even dark, black circles under my eyes. Like it's just the circadian rhythm of my body is just completely collapsed, absolutely collapsed. But it'll get back to normal now. And I'm on mornings now for a while, so that'll be good,
Time's not real, bro.
Time's not real. You just don't believe in it. Don't believe in it.
Just don't believe it. But the 9 to 5, non-existent.
Yeah, I refuse to observe that.
9 to 5, man. That's the worst thing that capitalism has ever done. It's done a lot of bad things, a lot of awful things.
Yeah.
That's up there, though.
It should be 9 to 4.
9 to 4?
9 to 3.
How about 10 to 3?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 5 hours. That's the logical next step, because it used to be 9-hour days. Oh, no, it is 9-hour days, but it used to be like 12-hour days and stuff.
But you had to sleep whenever.
Yeah.
Imagine being back in the day, like way back when, you didn't have to get up in the morning to work. And you just, not even if you're like, I'm not even talking about being a farmer or anything, like way back scavenging and hunting, whatever.
Yeah.
If you were tired, you just slept.
Yeah, you just slept.
And then you woke up and you just went about whatever you're doing.
Even back in like medieval times, like that was a big problem for like the lords and stuff. I remember I was reading about, I think the E.P. Thompson article he wrote about time and capitalism and stuff like that. Now back before you had like work discipline, like capitalist work discipline, it was a big problem for lords and like the owners of lands, because their serfs would measure work in terms of days. Like, oh, that's a day's work. But a day's work could be like, milking the cows. Like they milk the cows for an hour and then they go for like a nap. Yeah. That's a day's work. They measured it in that kind of sense, where they included breaks, where the break was the main part of the day. We should go back to that.
Should be. Yeah.
But sure, look.
What can you do?
That's
not the world we live in anymore.
Yeah. You see Barbados became a republic?
No. Did not see that.
It deposed the Queen there yesterday.
Yup, the boys.
Very good to see.
Shout out to the lads.
Mia Motley, she's the PM, I think, of Barbados. She spoke very well. I was watching her on the news there today. Very, very good. Because Sky News, the BBC, the way they're covering it,
They were raging.
they're raging. Low-key racist the way they're covering it.
I would imagine so.
Yeah, because they're kind of like, oh, Barbados goes out on its own, but at what cost?
Will the savages be able to handle it?
Yeah. Will they actually be able to handle it? Like, they are from Barbados,
Yeah.
you know? It's like scumbags. Absolute scumbags.
Absolutely. I was looking at I was looking at this Instagram post that was, now this is where I'm getting my news from, so don't
The
be
infographic complex.
Yeah. Don't take everything I say with a pinch of salt. But is there the Greslin Maxwell, or fucking branch?
Oh, Ghislaine Maxwell. Yeah.
Have you ever seen
The articles.
not the article, the flight book?
The black book.
Have you ever
Epstein's black.
You ever
black
see the
book.
names that are in it?
Some of them, yeah. Oh,
Man.
yeah. It's like Tony Blair, Bill Clinton, people like that.
Bill Murray's on it, Jim Carrey. Man, I saw the post, whatever, and I scrolled across and I saw the list of names. I was like, I guarantee you Jim Carrey's on this list. And lo and behold, he was. Charlie Sheen's on it. Like the post.
Of course, Charlie Sheen's on it.
The post is like, not everyone on this list was there doing awful deeds, but some of them were, and we don't know which ones were and which ones weren't.
Yeah, guaranteed. There's some of them were. Donald Trump's on that as well.
Yeah.
I saw some.
All the Afflecks are on it.
All the Afflecks.
Yeah. Casey, Ben, they're all there.
Oh God, Ben. How could Ben do that? Like,
how could he do that to us?
yeah, but like they use it as an excuse, like, yeah, I was on his plane, but like it was only because the plane was there and he offered it to me and stuff like that. It's like, come on, you're rich enough, you have your own plane, you can buy a fucking ticket to wherever in the world.
You can buy a Ryanair flight. Come on,
you can buy a Ryanair plane. Like,
I've seen Cillian Murphy on a Ryanair flight. You can fucking handle that.
What, have you?
Yeah, Cillian Murphy's on my flight before to France.
Oh,
yeah,
that's gas.
He's just chilling there with his family.
And the economy, like,
yeah, sitting there.
That's class.
And then we got onto the plane, and you pulled out the magazine, front cover, Cillian Murphy, Peaky Blinders,
That's
and he's
class.
on the flight, like.
yeah, imagine that.
And
like.
no one went up to him or anything. I was just like, there's Cillian Murphy. Everyone was just there, like, oh shit, there he is.
He's a king, though.
I saw Robbie Keane as well before a flight.
Robbie Keane, dude,
Yeah.
was he?
He was, oh man, he was in priority. He was like behind
Ryanair priority or
It was
something.
like, I think it was Aer Lingus, because we were sitting waiting to get on, and then like my dad was standing up, and he's just, wherever we were sitting, we're like sitting beside this like glass room is kind of behind us, kind of side VIP kind of area to get in, and my dad's just standing there. He's like, oh, there's Robbie Keane, and I just turned around. I was like, oh shit, there he is.
There he is. He's always popping up in strange places. That guy. He's a strange one though.
Yeah, I think it's Robbie Keane. Because I used to do elfing, as you know.
Oh yeah.
I used to do elfing for Santa, and
dressing up as an elf.
Grotto. And also being Prince Charming as well. I had to do that one year, and Robin Hood was another year. But they also did.
I love how there's a verb for that.
Oh yeah, elfing. It's hardcore, man. It's a
elfing. Is there like a union and stuff?
Oh man, I wish there was, man. Jesus. It's good pay, but fuck me, it's so repetitive.
Yeah.
And that's not. You're just sitting there listening to him talk. Santa's just whacking all the same words to everyone. But
you've seen behind the curtain.
Oh man,
this man's a fraud.
But there was. Like during Halloween, they also did, the place that I worked for, they also did a Halloween one, which you stand out it's out in Malahide, and you walk around the castle grounds, and there I was dressed up as a big black cat, ready to vibe, ready to fucking terrify, and these two kids came running up, and they were like by themselves, which is unusual because it was like a Halloween group, so normally they come around together, and I didn't have my glasses on, and but I was like talking to the kids, whatever, spieling my shite, whatever my lines were. And then one of the characters that was before me, after this family went away, comes up to me and is like, "Did you see Robbie Keane?" I was like, "Nope." I was like, I don't have my glasses on, so I didn't.
Did you see Robbie Keane? No.
Yeah, I was like, I was too prioritized with the kids. I couldn't see Robbie Keane at all.
You're too much of a professional.
Oh yeah, way too much of a professional.
Yeah, too professional.
But yeah, and his I was on his wife's Instagram story, and she's got like
you were on her
Instagram story 300,000 followers.
What? Who's his wife?
I can't remember her name, but she's also famous.
Yeah. It's like Brian O'Driscoll, Amy Huberman kind of thing.
Yeah, no. For a second there, you had me thinking it was Brian Driscoll, but no, it was Robbie Keane because Robbie Keane lives up in Malahide.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, he lives in one of those fancy estates.
That's gas.
And
Robbie.
then that same Christmas, then Robbie Keane wasn't there, but the wife and the kids came in again, and that's when it was Prince Charming. And then lo and behold, Christmas last year, she stuck up a fucking Instagram memory. And there I was again, up again on the story once again, and people started sending it to me. I was like, "Fuck's sake!"
That's gas. That is gas.
Yeah, good crack though.
Yeah, that's insane. I didn't know that.
Yeah, there you go. I've seen Robbie Keane like 3 times.
You've seen him, yeah. We'll get him on one of the days. I wonder what his favourite movie is.
Probably like Green Street.
Goal or something.
Goal. Is Bending Like Beckham a film?
Yeah, Bend It Like Beckham, yeah.
That's his favourite film.
Yeah, ever see that clip from I've never seen Bend It Like Beckham, but ever see the clip where it's like, because it's about, like a girl trying to get into soccer and she's Indian and stuff.
I quite literally have no idea what Bending Like Beckham is about.
It's something about girls getting into soccer and she's Indian. It's like it's something about racism and stuff. And there's one of the characters is Josh Hartnett, like the white American guy, and he's in it. He's like, and they're talking. The scene is about like the difficulties she experiences as like an Indian girl trying to get into soccer. He's like, my ancestors were Irish. I understand racism. I know what you're feeling, you know.
Oh, I think I have seen that clip. Yeah, I've seen that clip.
It's so funny.
It's like,
well, Robbie knows it himself, you know. It's hard getting into soccer as an Irish lad, you know.
Is that film coming to 2000s?
2000, yeah. I think 2002 or something.
That is a pure 2000s notion.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Oh, God. What you been watching?
I had a look at the new Beatles documentary.
Oh, the Beatles.
Which landed on Disney Plus. For some reason landed on Disney Plus. I'm not sure if Disney now own the Beatles properties and all that stuff.
I would assume that they do.
I would assume that they do. Or there's something going on there.
If I was a betting man, I'd gamble on that.
Yeah, stick it all on.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, it's Peter Jackson's new film as well. Peter Jackson who made Lord of the Rings and all that stuff. The Hobbit.
Mad.
For some reason, he's decided to do a film about 4 shaggy young fellows on a journey.
He's been on a documentary buzz though, because he didn't have that World War One.
No.
What the fuck was it called? Like They Will Not Be Forgotten or something like that. It was like restored, something like that. I remember BBC making a big fucking woo-ha about it
a few years ago.
Yeah,
he might be. He's probably retired. He's just like fiddling around with what he can, you know.
Yeah, just imagine documentary filmmaking like that is just fucking around with footage.
Yeah, because there's something like, because it's called Get Back, I think. I'm pretty sure it's called Get Back because it's about the recording of Let It Be, which was the name of the album and also the original documentary, which Get Back is kind of about, which is very weird. It's a documentary about an album, which wasn't an album because it was a live album originally. It's all this
so many layers.
There's so many layers, man. I didn't get it, to be honest. But yeah, it starts out like there's like an intertitle, and it's like there was 300 hours of footage or something like that, because they were just constantly recording, in the studio. And it wasn't even a studio; it was a warehouse. Because the original idea, it was like 1969, and they're all, they're the Beatles. They're like, like they hate each other, like low key, like kind of passive aggressive. They're kind of drifting apart, and they have an idea to do a live album and then to do a show, like a live show, which because they quit live shows in '66, I believe.
Yeah.
For various reasons. One of them I actually didn't know about. Kind of cool history. They went out to the Philippines, out to Manila, and there used to be a dictatorship out in Manila, the Marcos regime.
I've not heard of it.
Back in the middle part of the 20th century, and they were complete crooks. Like just like they were elected, but like they're complete like kind of military regime kind of thing. And the Beatles that like played this. I think it was the biggest crowd they ever played in front of. It was this huge kind of like auditorium kind of thing. There's like 90,000 people there, and they made a killing. And when they tried to leave, the Marcos dictatorship stepped in and was like, "You can't leave unless you give us all your earnings." And they were like scrapping at the airport, like the Beatles and like the security guards and stuff like that.
Fuck you.
So so they cancelled. They've never went back to Manila, and they stopped performing live, and also their music kind of got to a point where it couldn't really be played live reliably the way it could be these days. So I decided to do a live album in like a studio, and then do a live performance on like the the original idea was to go to Libya, this like Roman auditorium in Libya, and play it there with loads of Arabs watching. That's how they described it.
The Beatles were such a level of fame back then, weren't they? Like,
yeah, man. Like,
but just do whatever you wanted.
It's because the documentary is really cool because it gives you a real insight into that. Because these people were like more famous, and they knew it. They were more famous back then, and now obviously, than like anyone, like probably
had ever been,
like bigger than Jesus, pretty much.
We don't have you don't have superstars like that.
Not to that extent, no. They have people everyone would know, but like the Beatles, I feel like that was a whole different level. Everyone knew them. Like everyone on earth knew who they were.
It's the same thing with like Michael Jackson and stuff like that. Like
there
never will be someone that famous again.
Yeah, and it obviously takes a mental toll as we saw with Mickey J
and the Beatles as well. Like
and the Beatles, but like they played it off pretty well. Like like they were all fine
for the most part.
yeah. Like they're. Obviously, they grew apart and they were a lot feuding and stuff at the end. But, like, Paul's still going these days. Ringo...
As you know.
I've seen Paul live. He's very, very much with it, you know, in terms of faculties and stuff. And Ringo's still going as well. But he's kind of scaled back, you know. But he never really was, like, kind of like... He never really cared for any of that stuff.
Yeah.
That's the impression I get watching the documentary. And then George and John were the same. Like, they just, like... They dealt with it fine, all the way up to the end before they both like sort of died. But
how did George Harrison die?
Oh, that's a weird one because he had cancer, but it was exacerbated because a crazed fan broke into his gaff and stabbed him like 20 times.
What? I never.
Yeah, I had no idea either.
Yeah.
But it was like a few months. I think it was like 6 months before he died. Someone broke into his gaff, stabbed him like 20, 30 times, and he survived. And he was laughing and joking about it in the ambulance on the way to the hospital. And he survived fine. But then he died of cancer like 6 months later. That was 20 years ago today.
Mad.
Or yesterday. Because Paul McCartney posted about it. So that's a bit spooky.
Because obviously you always hear about like John Lennon for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
But like, you know, George Harrison also almost got like killed by a fan.
Yeah, it's crazy. Because they talk about it in the documentary about their fame so casually. It's like, everyone knows who they are. Like everyone on earth knows who we are. Everyone's looking towards our next album. Everyone's looking towards the music we're making here in this room. But like they're so casual about it. They're just laughing and joking. It's very strange.
It's like even if it's shit, we're gonna make it bank.
yeah. And there's all these different reactions to the documentary because it gives there's like a huge insight obviously into the creative process because they don't have any songs. When you start the documentary footage, there's no songs. They don't have anything. Like John Lennon comes in and he has Don't Let Me Down, you know that song, but he only has like the bare bones of it.
Yeah.
And they're going through it, playing, it's like him, George and Paul, and they're just trying to get like trying to elaborate on like the basic hook that John has.
Yeah.
And Paul's throwing out all these ideas, and you can see like John and George like looking at him like, oh, this guy's a fucking control freak. Would he ever shut up? Like, and they develop something, and it's kind of similar to the original song, but it just doesn't feel right. And George just goes, "This is fucking shite." Like if this is, he just says it. It's like, and it is. It's not good. It's not a good version of it at all. And George is like, if we were listening to that on someone else's album, we just like wouldn't even think about it, you know. So he's like constantly pushing to make something that was actually worth listening to. But also at the same time, it shows that it kind of demystifies like the myth behind the Beatles. Like you think they're creating music, or the music they created
just flowing out of them.
Yeah, it was like divine inspiration. These people were just like, like Titanic music figures that no one could ever match. But then you have like, them Paul trying to elaborate on Don't Let Me Down, and he's not doing a great job. It's like, they make mistakes, and they're not. It's not just. It's very much a
creative process.
Yeah, an arduous process that took fucking weeks to make like 10 songs or something like that. And some of those songs aren't even that good, to be fair, even on the final album, But I haven't finished it because it's 8 hours long.
Yeah, it's massive.
It's the length of a miniseries, but they describe it as, it was originally pitched as a film, as like a single documentary, but then it got longer and longer. They were putting out previews for this back in 2019 and stuff. Like I've been watching trailers for like years.
Mad.
And then eventually it's come out.
Like 9 hours, and like it's split into 3 parts. It's like 8 hours and 9 hours. It's split into 3 parts. Each part is like basically, I think the first 2 parts are 3 hours long.
Yeah. Because it's split into because it's 3 weeks. It's January 1969 or 1970. I'm not sure, but I think it's 69 actually, and it's the first 3 weeks of that starting in the new year, and then they're supposed to do this live show on the 19th, and where it kind of differs from the original documentary Let It Be is that it shows like the kind of the turmoil and stuff.
Did that original documentary come out?
Yeah, 1970. That came out. It was kind of like a promotional thing with Let It Be.
Yeah.
But
and how long is that documentary?
It's like, I don't know, 2 hours, 3 hours.
Okay.
It's not that long.
Manageable.
It's not as long as this one.
Yeah.
You know? But this one's higher quality. And this one's kind of weird because it has like, they're kind of like, what you call it? Yassified or whatever. Like their face is all smoothed out. It's like
yeah,
you know
yeah,
the face app kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like everything's all the lines are smooth because it's just the process of like sort of restoring the footage.
That's what
it loses a lot of detail.
That's what the Peter Jackson World War One documentary also looks like. Because
he's a bit weird.
He's restoring like black and white footage though as well, and like adding color to it and stuff like that.
Yeah, because I think a lot of it was done with AI. A lot of the audio anyway. And the audio and visuals I think they were recorded separately. So a lot of the time they won't actually have visuals for the audio, but they'll play like a random clip of them talking. Or they'll match up the audio and the video that were recorded at the same time, but they won't be synced properly. It's a bit weird.
Yeah.
But it differs from Let It Be in that it's like, that it shows the turmoil and it's sort of self-consciously kind of elaborating on stuff like Yoko Ono's kind of controversial position in those sessions, because they have subtitles all the way through, and they get to a point. It's in the second episode or the second part where George Harrison has just left, which also isn't mentioned at all in the original documentary. He leaves at the end of the first part because he's sick of Paul McCartney pretty much, and because he's like he finds him too insufferable, and they don't really like gel because George is trying to be more like do his own stuff, and obviously John and Paul were more so kind of like in the zone.
Yeah,
they were like dominating the creative process, but yeah, they have a point in the second one where they're just kind of discussing Yoko like openly.
Yeah,
which is really weird because it's something that's obviously fallen into modern folklore basically. Like, you know, Yoko broke up the Beatles.
Yeah,
and Paul says it. There's actually a line he says when they're discussing, they're kind of having like a little meeting after George has left. And he's like, I don't want it to be like in 50 years time, Yoko broke up the Beatles. Like, that'd be stupid, you know? Like, he's like addressing, like, that's the beginning of that myth, which like everyone knows, you know? Which is very cool to see them talking about it at the time.
Because you wouldn't think that you feel like they wouldn't have really talked about it that openly. Yeah.
There's definitely parts where you can tell that they're on camera and they're kind of holding stuff back. There's a part of the second one where they're John is talking, because at the time John Lennon was mad into heroin.
Yeah. And
he never showed up on time. Like, he showed up like 2 hours late. Like, he was famous for being really like lazy. Like, he'd always sleep in anyway. But he was getting really into heroin. And he mentions it very briefly in the second one. And you can just see like Ringo and Paul like looking down at their shoes, and Paul's like, there's some things we shouldn't talk about in public. You know, it's like, you know, maybe a third documentary for that part, you know?
Yeah.
But no, it's very, very, very worth a watch.
Yeah. How much media do you think has been made about the Beatles?
Far too much, I think. Far too much.
When you're saying that, I was like, you could literally make like a 9-hour documentary about John Lennon and his drug addictions.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But like that's why there's so much, because at the time when they were doing all these things, the people in charge, people who own them or own the rights to their music and like all Beatles properties, were like, this is just like, they recognized that this was a historic kind of moment.
Yeah, Beatlemania, man.
Yeah, Beatlemania. And like, they continued after Beatlemania and they're still as iconic, and they're like, we're just going to record everything, like absolutely everything.
Yeah. Like
everything they said, everything they did, everywhere they went, it was all recorded. And that's why you have like you know, the anthology one, the Beatles anthology has all their songs on it, the red one. That was like, they're able to remaster everything to like an excruciating level of detail. Like, everything is like so well remastered because they have everything is saved. Like, all the reels are saved. So they can go back and like piece it back together. They can literally piece it back together as it was done at the time, 60 years into the future.
Which is why that their legacy's been able to hold on even further.
Yeah.
Like the fact that you
Exactly.
have that is like we can just keep making shit about the Beatles
Yeah,
because we have 20 hours of shit about them.
exactly.
Like,
Yeah,
for this one, like as you said, like how long was they ran all the footage?
yeah,
for
hundreds of hours.
hundreds of hours, and they only have 9 hours. They've only used 9 hours.
Only, yeah, it's so long. Like, but like compare that to something like the Beach Boys. Like the Beach Boys, you have like a similar thing where it's like a huge band at the time, and they recorded like pretty much everything. Like there's like loads of media, loads of video, loads of audio. But at the same time, every few years they release a remaster of like Beach Boys albums after once the 50 years is up and it's about to fall into the public domain, they release a remaster, but they can't remaster it to the same extent as you can with a Beatles album because a lot of the tapes are like lost. Like they're just, you know, they either like got bought out or like they're thrown out in like a garage somewhere or like a dump, or like they just didn't keep as well an eye on everything that was there.
I imagine because of what happened to the Beach Boys.
Oh yeah, because they sort of fell off.
Yeah.
But like it just goes to show how aware the Beatles were of what was happening at the time.
Yeah, being aware of how famous you are.
Yeah.
I think just one thing that I was thinking there. I think it's mad that like the Beatles were massive, right? And then you have the next, global superstar, Michael Jackson, and he's like, I'm just gonna buy the royalties to their shit.
Yeah.
And become even richer.
Yeah. I don't know why he did that.
Yeah.
But he made a load of money off it.
He made bank.
Yeah. Poor old Paul though. He wasn't happy about that.
I tell you what, it was raging.
Yeah, poor old Paul.
Who owns that now? Like, who owns the royal? I think
it's fallen back.
The Jackson estate or something.
Because remember, you couldn't listen to the Beatles on anything pretty much, any streaming service. You had to buy all their songs individually.
Yeah.
I think that's because it was owned by a different company. It must have been Michael Jackson's.
The Jackson
kind of
estate.
deal. Yeah, something like that. And I got bought back, I believe.
Yeah.
By maybe Paul McCartney or something, because he's a billionaire now. Like he is extremely rich.
Yeah.
There's no reason for him to keep touring.
I remember we were talking about like the fifth Beatle, the guy that left the Beatles before.
Pete Best.
Yeah, but like it's just like, wouldn't you have hated to have been the fifth Beatle and not to live on that fame? I was like, I mean, we still know him as the fifth Beatle. Like he's still extremely famous just because he got thrown out of the band.
yeah. But at the same time, you'd be like, oh man,
you could have been a billionaire.
You'd be like, but like imagine like because they're in this documentary, they're 26 and 27. Like they're very young.
How long did the Beatles stay the Beatles? Like from what age to what age?
From
when did Beatlemania? Like what age would they have been when Beatlemania started?
They would have been like 20.
Mad.
21. Like, but imagine you're Pete Best sitting at home, the fifth Beatle, sitting at home in Liverpool, and you're flat or whatever, and you're like,
shit, Liverpool council gaff.
Yeah, and you're like, my mates are out living like the dream.
Yeah.
Like no one has ever been as famous or as like, well loved as my mates. I could have been that guy. Like it's just
if I was
that
him,
would tear you up. Like.
If I was him, I would have been the guy that shot John Lennon.
Yeah. You'd be like, fair.
Yeah, fair enough, bro.
Because he kicked him out. Yeah. But yeah, it's crazy. It's just crazy to see that sort of like confluence between popularity and like technical mastery, because you don't see that as much anymore. Like you have either something is really popular or it's really technically masterful. Like they never really converge anymore. So the fact that you have like a background kind of insight into how that all worked is pretty crazy. So
it's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. I very much enjoyed it.
Have you finished it?
Nah, halfway.
Yeah, halfway. Fair enough.
I watched the second part anyway, because that's what they do the rooftop, or the third part. Sorry, that's what they do the rooftop. They do the full 42-minute set from the top of Apple Studios or whatever.
Sick.
So can't go wrong with that.
It's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. But yeah, what have you been watching, having a look at?
I watched some anime, some live action anime.
Live action anime. What?
The Cowboy Bebop Netflix live action remake, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Adaptation or whatever.
Adaptation, yeah. I watched the first episode. Maybe I'll watch the rest. I don't know. Like, so Cowboy Bebop is like...
Yeah, what's the premise?
Cowboy Bebop is an anime that came out in like the 90s, and it is not only one of the best animes of all time, it is one of the best TV shows ever. just because of like for multiple reasons. But one thing is like it's a very episodic show, which I normally don't like. I don't really like episodic shows. I like things that have like overarching narratives, but it has like that X-Files thing where like sprinkling in with a narrative.
Yeah,
Like,
that's great.
Episode 5 or episode 6, I can't remember, Fallen Angels, I think the episode is. It's like 5 or 6. It's like the first like injection of like, here's like a plot, like a major plot point to the backstory of Spike, who's like the main character. He is the Cowboy Bebop.
What does that mean?
The Cowboy Bebop. I think it's just the name of the ship. I think they're cowboys because they're like bounty hunters that go around space and they get bounties. And I think Bebop is the name of the ship. I think. I'm not sure, but I think that's what it is. I can't remember. It's been ages since I watched Cowboy Bebop. But I might rewatch it because of this live action. Yeah, like Netflix announced this a while ago. I think sometime last year. They were like, yeah, we're going to make this. And we're going to put a massive amount of money into this. And it's going to be good, guys. We promise. And there's like a trailer to it and it looked pretty good from the trailer. And it dropped. And it's okay.
Yeah, I've heard.
Like,
I've heard.
It's not shit, but it's not good either. It's completely fine. And as a adaptation of Cowboy Bebop, like one of the key things of Cowboy Bebop and one of the consistent great things about the show is the atmosphere and style and tone that it sets in every episode. Like there's one episode that's just straight up like Alien. Like they have like food that goes bad, and from the food an alien emerges, and it's going like it's skull around the ship, like attacking them and stuff like that, and like taking them out one by one. And it's a horror episode. And then there's another episode where there's like a Jack the Ripper character, and he's like scary, like he's freaky as fuck. There's like
This is in the anime, like.
This is in the anime. Then there's an episode about like the backstory of oh my god, I can't remember the character's name. Fuck it, not Spike, the other guy, Jet is the other fellow that's with them. His backstory and like how he was a cop that like left the force and stuff like that. Like it's great. It's such a good show, and like the character arcs are great. There's a 10 out of 10 corgi in it. Amazing dog.
Corgi.
Best boy. But yeah, great. And then you try to adapt that. That's really only something that you can do with animation, which we talked about before with Perfect Blue. Like the means of animation means that you can control everything within the scene. And just like, you know, if you're doing weird stylistic things, it's probably best to do it with anime or animation. Wow, it really doesn't look like there's a massive budget on this thing. Like this.
But at the same time, it does.
It's so like
apparently there is, wasn't it?
Like I was showing you bits of it. Like the outer space shots look great. Like they do look like if it's a shot of like of a spaceship like flying in outer space, looks great. Once a character is on the screen, it looks so bad.
Yeah.
It looks so bad. And like the sets look good, but the costumes don't look great. The
costumes are really bad. Yeah.
The actors are very good, but the dialogue and like the characterization of the characters is way off. Like one thing that I hate in anime is accidental boob grabs.
Is that a thing?
That's a thing. That's a trope in anime. And
what is it?
Oh, it's rampant.
Why?
Because fucking
horny lads watching anime.
What's the word I'm looking for? What's that?
Weebs.
Weebs, not weebs.
Otakus.
Otakus love a weird little boob grab. So you know, and it happens in the live action.
Yeah.
That's not a thing in Cowboy Bebop. That's like someone's idea of like Cowboy Bebop is an anime, so obviously there's a boob grab. That's not what Cowboy Bebop is at all. Cowboy Bebop is way more mature.
That makes it way worse.
And like I haven't gotten to the character yet, but there's in the live action. But there's a character in Cowboy Bebop called Ed, and Ed is like this ADHD girl that has like the corgi, and she's like the tech girl, and she's very, very hyper and like cartoonish. And I feel like that character really only works when it's a cartoon, because I have seen the clip of her in the live action, and Jesus fucking Christ, cringe inducing.
What's it like?
Oh, like, because Ed talks like in third person, and it's like, Ed got a bounty for you, woo! Like,
Yeah, I can see how that could only
you
work
go
in
get Big Man,
animation.
and like, there's like a extreme Dutch angle. It looks, and I've seen this. This isn't like I've seen this critique of it before. It looks like a Spy Kids movie.
That's not good.
That's not good.
That is not good.
That's the worst thing you could like.
That's the worst thing you can say about anything.
If something's got a massive budget, you don't want it to look like a Spy Kids movie.
Yeah.
And like there's like attempts of like it's like it has a style, but its style doesn't produce tone or atmosphere or like there's not any, like there's nice use of color in Cowboy Bebop, like the anime. In this, absolutely not. Extremely dull to look at, and the green screen is so bad.
Yeah, they kind of need to just bin that whole thing, you know.
Oh,
Like the one you showed me there, whereas like they're walking through a little room, and
like
they're
a
walking
freeze or something.
they're walking through a freezer. And it's like they're walking through like a little corridor between these like mounds. I don't know what they are.
Of, like,
pods.
Fish. I think it's fish. Dead fish.
Dead fish. But like, there's no way. Like, it's all they're all CGI for some reason. But there's no way. Like, maybe it is cheaper just to CGI that. But like, it can't have cost much to just pay someone to be like, oh, make 10 dead fish
Yeah.
that like look reasonable on camera. Like that. How much could that cost?
Oh, I don't know.
Like £200. Surely it can't cost much more than that. Like,
I-
come on.
Or just get dead fish.
Yeah, just get giant dead fish.
Get that fish. Tuna are fucking massive. Pay for a bunch of tuna.
That'd be a bit of a waste though.
Yeah,
like.
no, but they can eat it afterwards.
Yeah.
Cook it afterwards. But like, jeez, it's just like that's something that I noticed with like bad green screen is like the lighting will be off. That's when you know it's bad green screen. The lighting is off constantly in this where you can see like they're just not in that environment at all.
Yeah, when it's like like the light is like flush across the character's
Yeah.
face. Like
And
doesn't
it's
seem
like-
to be any use of shadow or anything. Yeah.
Shadow, yeah. There's no
Yeah.
use of shadow. But then the weird times when they are on the set, like the sets are really nice, but the characters just look out of place still. I don't know. Like
It might be the lighting, to be honest.
if this was a YouTube video, it'd be amazing. You'd be like, that is incredible. This is a big budget Netflix show. It should not look like this.
Yeah, everyone involved in this is a millionaire. They
Yeah.
can do better than this.
Like do better.
Please do better.
But fucking hell, like it's not bad, and even like all I'm saying about it, like everything, all these negatives I'm saying about it, like you can still watch it and be like, yeah, this is fine. Like this is grand. It's just about like a bunch of space cowboys going around getting bounties, whatever. But as an adaptation of Cowboy Bebop is where it's cringe and it shits the bed.
Yeah, they're better off doing something original, wouldn't they? Rather
Literally,
than
I don't know why.
adapting that.
Like, why would you try and adapt something that like is so good because it very explicitly uses the medium of animation?
Imagine adapting The Godfather in anime. You know,
Yeah.
you'd be like, why?
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 Like,
You know?
that's the thing. You never think of doing the reverse.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's no reason to do that. You know, unless I don't know. Is there based on the first episode? Is that much of a spin that you couldn't have done this, or there's things in the live action that you couldn't have done in the anime?
No,
No.
not a single thing.
Yeah. What's the point of that?
Not a single thing.
What is the point?
And like they just
Is it like a Psycho kind of like shot for shot remake, or like
there's like vague things that are similar. Like there's like Spike's backstory is like he was part of this like crime syndicate and he left. And there's like a woman involved in stuff like that, and there's like a rose that drops, which is like very, very atmospheric and very, very like melancholic when you see it in the in the TV show. But you know, it's animation, so you can just drop the fucking flower and it can just hit the ground and not bounce. But in real life, they drop the flower and it bounces up, bounces down, and then stops bouncing.
Why is it bounce?
Because it's like landing in water and like floats up and down. So it's just like that doesn't really have the same impact of like this slow, like flower just falling down and hitting the ground, and it just looks bad. Like the lighting again is a problem, and the color grading is I don't know, because they tried to make it look like the anime in that scene where like it's all like kind of blue lighting and like gray and stuff like that. But that looks really bad in live action. You know?
Yeah, it seems a bit seems a bit kind of like misguided in general.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, I've only heard like negative things, but like nothing like explicitly negative. More comparing it
Yeah.
to how.
Because like obviously you're
Doesn't
gonna
work.
do that, and even like as a show by itself, it's like if I was just to talk about it as a show, it is just meh. It's just whatever.
Yeah.
So like even at that, it's like, yeah. I'm pretty sure Netflix are. I think it's Netflix are doing a One Piece live action like next year, or the year after.
How do you feel about that?
I am so worried.
Yeah.
Like that's the one that I will probably watch all of.
Well, isn't that's so long though?
That's really long, but like they don't have to do everything. Like they can just do like one arc. That's the thing. Like the first episode of this is the first episode of the anime. Like the anime is 24 minutes long. This is an hour long episode. Like they just like the fight scenes, just everything just is
Longer.
stretched out. But it doesn't feel longer.
Oh, right, yeah.
But it is just kind of stretched out. But it literally is just the first episode. And because Cowboy Bebop is really episodic, I don't know if the live action is episodic or not. Because I've heard that the season finale of this, if it gets a season 2 or not, I have no idea. But like the season finale is episode 5. But so they just took bits of other episodes and just made a 10 episode season out of it. So I don't know what happens in the live action. I don't know when. I don't know if there's going to be an alien episode. I doubt it. I don't want to see that in the way that this TV show looks. I don't want to see that.
Yeah.
Because it's just going to be a shitty CGI blob.
Yeah, CGI, man, ruins everything.
Ruins, especially bad CGI and bad green screen.
Takes you out of it.
But like because like the main character in One Piece, Luffy, he's like made of rubber and he's real stretchy. What is that going to look like in a live action?
Yeah, how do you do that?
I have no idea.
Wait, what is Luffy?
Luffy, he's like he's eating like a devil fruit. There's like these superpower fruits in the world of devil in the world of One Piece, and if you eat them, you get superpowers. But it's like it's a pirate show or a pirate anime, manga, comic book. So like the twist is once you eat the devil fruit, you can't swim, but you're a pirate, so you got to stay away from water. That stops being a problem. Like within the first arc of, they just never bring it up really.
Yeah.
But he's like he can stretch and he's made of rubber.
Yeah, you
so
can't
like
do that.
Live action, I know that's gonna look bad.
Mr. Fantastic kind of stuff.
Yeah, like it's just not gonna look good.
Yeah, just leave it. Like leave it out.
Also, it's set out. It's like a pirate show. Lots of shots in the ocean and stuff like that. It's not gonna look like Pirates of the Caribbean looks good for like those open air like shots. This is 100% gonna end up being on a green screen, so it's gonna look like shit.
Yeah, how do you even do that? How would you do a pirate film? You know,
like I guess like Pirates of the Caribbean.
Was that shot like on location or whatever, or like?
I mean, it's probably sets, but they just like they look good.
But that'd be expensive, wouldn't it? You know, like that's
Is
that something that Netflix would be like? We could do it with a green screen.
Well, apparently the budget is like $1 million per episode for the One Piece. Yeah, apparently.
Is that a lot though these days? Game of Thrones, I remember, was 2 or 3 million an episode. Yeah, but that's costume. That's a costume drama. Is One Piece a costume kind of thing?
No. But I just know that it's like 4 special effects, so it's £1 million, a lot for like VFX every episode.
Yeah, I don't know if it is anymore, or enough to get something good done. Maybe.
Well, the dragons always looked good in Game of Thrones, didn't they?
Yeah. But like, yeah, I suppose.
This is not going to have that though. Based off this
is going to be bad.
This is going to be bad. I know it's going to be bad, but sure, what can you do?
Sure, look, what can you do?
What can you do?
What can you be at?
Do you watch anything else this week?
I watched Begotten.
Begotten.
Yes. I've been meaning to watch this about 3 or 4 years, honestly.
Yes.
I think I heard about it.
Same
I can't remember how I heard about it.
I always watched this week, and I'm the same. Ever since I heard about this thing, I wanted to watch it.
I've been wanting to watch it. I think I saw... It's not really iconic. It may be iconic for people like us, you know, weirdos.
Cult horror.
Yeah, cult. It's like something you see in like film school or something.
Yeah.
You get shown for like an art film module. But I remember I saw the the poster, which is
the poster is fucked up.
I was like, what is that? And then there's I remember the title, or not the title card, the epigraph, the first, like the intertitle before the start of the film, and I was like, that's really evocative of something. I was like, I have to watch this, but then I didn't watch it for 4 years.
It's also like one of the most disturbing movies ever made as well.
Yeah, it's
like,
renowned.
It's like put into that canon, but you can't really see enough for it to be disturbing.
yeah. It's like, it's off-putting. It's really off-putting. Like, I don't think you could do anything else while watch, or like you have to, I don't know, it just kind of like clouds you.
Is anyone really sitting, because I watched this.
Yeah.
But
how did you watch this actually?
A second monitor while doing something else.
Yeah. I watched this in bed on my phone. I was like,
man, so many people on Letterboxd say that's how they watched it.
Oh really? Yeah.
I was like, that's the worst way to watch this. I would never watch this film like that.
It actually is, but there's no TV, so like I was watching it on my phone, and I wasn't gonna watch it at work. Like,
did you at least have headphones on?
Yeah.
Okay.
I had earphones on. But
watching this on your phone with no headphones on would be a scene.
But yeah, I watched it like that, and I was like, oh, this is a bad vibe. This is a really bad.
It's mad boring.
Mad boring. It's only an hour. It's 72 minutes long, which is the perfect length for a film, really.
Yeah, it's perfect length for a film like this, anyway.
Yeah.
Like,
maybe shorter would be better.
Maybe shorter, but I felt like the sound and like the images and like the way that you can't really see anything that's going on. I felt kind of sick watching it the entire time. Like I did have
it does. It makes you feel the queasy.
Yeah, I felt like I was watching something that I shouldn't be watching.
Yeah. Like I don't know. It's disturbing, definitely, but it's more like a gross out kind of thing, maybe. Because it's like, it's not really that graphic either. Well, it is.
Well, it is very graphic.
It is very graphic.
But like, you can't really make out what's actually happening.
Plus, it's all allegory as well.
We should
very obscure allegory.
Like, we should probably reference that the reason that you can't see what's going on in this film is because this film is more or less lost. Like, I think you can only get this on DVD and VHS tapes, and it is like extremely expensive to buy any of that shit. But there's a 240p copy of it up on YouTube for free.
480p.
480p. Sorry, I'm not doing it justice. 480p.
Yeah.
Copy of it up on YouTube for free, and that's how anyone that's watching this film is watching it.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's like, there's no way there's more detail in like a 1080p version. 4K. You're not watching Begotten in 8K, like, you know. That's not happening. It's just, you've wasted your money.
4D experience.
Yeah.
Seats rumble and everything.
Yeah, someone stabs you in real life. Yeah, because it's about creation. It's an amalgamation of creation myths in a kind of horror shell. You know, because it starts out with the famous poster kind of scene where it's a character wearing a mask sitting in a chair. It's like a throne in the corner of a room in like a dilapidated gaff or something like that.
Some shack in the middle of nowhere.
Some shack, yeah. And there's no dialogue at all, and
there's no music either.
There's no music. Yeah, it's just kind of like ambient sound. It's like a Razorhead, but like more naturalistic. But yeah, this person who is credited as God killing himself in the credits is literally God. Is God killing himself. And he's stabbing himself and like disemboweling himself in this throne.
Painful.
This goes on for about 10 minutes, and he's just like stabbing his belly, and he's like writhing in pain, and he like grabs his organs and throws them on the floor.
So gross.
And,
so gross.
10 minutes of this. And then he starts shitting himself, and you see all the shit piling up on his ankles. And you're like, what is this? What's going on? But then... From nothing, there is something. From behind the chair emerges Mother Earth, a woman who's holding her boobs. And she's walking around sort of like, you know, showing herself off because she's Mother Earth. She's life emerging from death, you know, the cycle of life. And she goes over to God, and she does something very, very disturbing.
Okay, I wrote my notes real time. I wrote
live reaction.
I was like, music is class, great effects, great sound design, super eerie.
Very, very eerie.
Very like squelching, like repeatedly.
Yeah.
And like he's not moaning or anything. He's just like writhing in pain, but he's not making any sound, which makes it way worse.
Yeah, you're kind of removed from the situation.
And then Is she wanking him off now? Question mark. I can't make it out, but I think she is. Oh, she is. That. Nice. Oh, and he came. Oh no! Don't do that.
Oh god. Yeah. So she goes over to God and she wanks him off.
I can't really make it out, but then by a certain stage, you're like, oh, that is a dick.
Yeah, it's like, what she hold? She can only be holding one thing.
Yeah.
And then she's
only
like,
one hand movement makes sense.
And then he comes on her, and
Has to do.
then she gets to come and she sticks it. She sticks it up her vagina, her earthly vagina, which is all natural.
This woman is clearly French.
Yeah. She's very continental style, and it's also very unclear what it is. Like, you're kind of like, what? Yeah, that can only be one thing. You know?
It's like, this only makes sense if as this. I can't see what this is, but this is the only thing that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's what the oh no was, because I didn't know. I was like, what the fuck is oh no?
Yeah. Very bizarre. But then obviously she's pregnant now. She's walking around with a huge belly, and she gives birth. The Son of God, man. And then it's like a kind of trial and tribulation of Mother Earth and the Son of God.
And he's riding around.
Yeah, he's riding around. He's having a really bad time. He's just come into the world, and he's not liking being alive.
No.
He's in this like wasteland, this like bleak, desolate wasteland, which is also inhabited by these nomads who are these weird kind of like giant Ewoks who have like hoods and like these leather kind of like anoraks walking around. Like, I don't know, they're like priests or something.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know what the fuck they are. There's
You
something.
don't know what they are, but they basically torture
the
Son of Man and Mother Earth over the remaining like hour of the film.
Yeah, they cannibalize, torture, and then kill the Son of God, and they're like literally dragging him around by his umbilical cord. Because Mother Earth like ditches Son of God. It's like, you're on your own, son. Peace. You're fucking so ugly. I'm leaving. And then they get him. And they obviously, like, the thing, like, I don't know if are the nomads meant to be humans?
The what? The nomads?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because I thought it was like something like we are, humans,
I don't
like
know.
torturing and killing the Son of God. But then he just comes back to life. He, like, re-emerges from they throw him they set him on fire, and they leave him burning, and then Mother Earth comes back and she, like, regenerates him, and then rebirth again. And then the nomads come back.
And they kill her. Yeah, really extended scene.
They do some other stuff to her as well.
Yeah, she gets fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a metaphor.
Yes.
Because she's Mother Earth. And then the Son of God gets, his head kicked in for the final time. It takes like 15 minutes or something.
It's literally, it's basically an hour of like 3 characters getting their shit wrecked.
Yeah. Because it's all it's a nihilist film.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nihilist film. The guy who made this, Edmund Murraga.
Your guess is as good as mine.
Edmund Murraga, that's his name. He's a Norwegian guy, I believe. And he directed this. And he was inspired by Friedrich Nietzsche. Yeah. Who obviously is the guy who said, God is dead, which is like the opening scene. So God is killing himself. And then we're left with the remainders.
Pure performance seppuku.
Yeah, performance seppuku, yeah. But yeah, so he's like, it sort of ties into the opening title, I believe, because the title's like, the beginning is, you language bearers, diary makers, people like that, people who take records. Mm-hmm. That basically means, wait, fuck this, I'm gonna fucking.
Yeah, pull it up there.
Pull it up.
Language bearers, photographers, diary makers, you with your memory are dead, frozen, lost in a present that never stops passing. Here lives the incantation of matter, a language forever.
Yeah, exactly. The people who take records, the people who live in the past, this frozen image of things that no longer exist, pretty much. People who photographs, diary makers, people who take records, people who
obsessive history. Yeah,
obsessive history, even language itself, using signs, icons to communicate. But by the time you communicate, it's already in the past and you're always referring to something. It's always an exchange of prior knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
So that's something to do with the film. It's the sense that, like, the film is an attack. It's like a sensory attack on the viewer. and the metaphor for the way the world works. It's all very. It's the film's so visceral. There's no dialogue. There's no kind of like intellectualization of what's happening in the film. It's just like a pure sensory experience as it happens.
It's just images.
It's just the present image. Yeah, exactly. I think he was inspired by Stan Brakhage as well. Remember we talked about him, the Untitled Eye. He did the film. What's it called? He did the film where it's just a medical documentary where they pull the skin, they demask like a corpse.
I don't remember us talking about that.
We talked about the Untitled Eye anyway. It's like this guy is the American filmmaker, and he's a painter, and he'd make films where each frame would be painted, and then it'd be like a sort of montage.
Yeah.
And the whole point is that like you're supposed to look at the film with the untutored eye, like the innocent eye of a child.
Yeah.
And to process it as like an immediate sensory experience rather than to like intellectualize or like to think about it too much. But I think that he was a big inspiration, especially because Stan Brakhage did a different film as well, where it was a medical documentary where they were looking at a cadaver and basically cutting up a cadaver.
That's so fucked up.
yeah, and the rabbit ear is kind of like the meaning behind it is to like sort of get to grips with our mortality, the fact that we're just like bodies. And there's a scene,
hunks of flesh.
Just hunks of flesh, and there's a scene in the film which is like I think the most famous. I've never seen this, but I've only like read about it. There's a scene where they're about to like examine the brain, and to do that when you're performing an autopsy. Oh no, that's what it's called. It's called the act of seeing the body from outside, which is the literal like sort of meaning of autopsy.
Okay.
And before they open the brain, they have to like make an incision in the scalp, and then they demask the face. So they pull down the face, and it's on film. Obviously, this is something coroners and stuff have to do every day, but it's like it's supposed to be very like, I don't know.
What if it just slides out?
Yeah, like your face just slides off. It just slides off when you go like that. But and this film's kind of like that in like a philosophical sense.
Yeah,
because it's just pure violence. It's an attack. It's a sensory attack.
It is just pure violence.
Yeah.
And like it's like the way that you can very simply talk about this film is like it's about creation, it's about life, it's about death, it's about rebirth, and it's just like three people getting their shit wrecked for fucking ages, and they're all it's God, Mother Earth, Son of God, and it's all. Once you know that, you can you get the basic understanding of what the film's talking about.
Basically, yeah.
But it's very long. It's very long, but I don't like. It's not even. Sorry, it's not. It's actually quite short, but it's very slow and repetitive, very repetitive, but thus is life itself very repetitive and very, very boring.
Yeah, true, yeah.
So very violent.
Maybe we'd be better off spending our time doing something else, you know.
Should have watched Cars 3 instead. Nah, it was good though. It is good.
It's good. I just wish it was like,
I wish it was like 40 minutes.
Half an hour, 40 minutes would be perfect. Like you get the message across very, very you could even keep the opening scene.
Yeah.
Very, very easily. There's no reason for it to have it be 75 minutes long.
No.
Just no reason whatsoever.
But that is part of it, though. It is the story of creation. Creation is a very slow process.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is good, though. One thing that I really liked about the film is the fact that like one of the background noises, and like this being the story of creation, is literally just like crickets. It's like, no, like this like mind-blowing thing, if you think about it for a second, is like something that we live with every day. Like no one really ever thinks about the fact like where the fuck did we come from, more or less.
Yeah,
but
what
like
happened?
Like in depicting this story, it's just crickets is the background. Like it's boring. Like we've heard this before, we all know this more or less.
Yeah.
But it's just like kind of mind-blowing when you think about it.
Yeah, it's like the kind of like how it doesn't really matter, or like how it's all part of a much bigger kind of dispassionate universe that doesn't really care.
Yeah, no, like the universe doesn't.
Like the crickets don't give a rat's.
Yeah,
they don't give a rat's what's happening.
Yeah, they don't care. They're like,
they couldn't give a monkeys.
Only you watching this film, only you seem to give a shit.
Yeah. This film basically says, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, no one cares. It's like this film is 75 minutes, black and white, silent film.
Yeah,
no one cares.
Sounds so bad when you say like that.
But it's good.
Yeah.
It's good. It's like it's not it's not something for casual viewing.
No,
At all.
not at all.
It
You wouldn't
is-
stick this on at the afters, you know.
No, it's something that you have to. I don't like. I would recommend that if you are ever watching this film, that you read up on it before you even watch it to know
absolutely,
what you're getting into. Read the plot synopsis, because like if you go into this not knowing, like even who the characters are, because like no one's named, like there's no talking, so the start is just some masked dude disemboweling himself, and then we go on from there. Like only when you have read the plot, it's like, you know, this. Like God is doing that. It's like, okay, now this makes sense.
Yeah. There's no way.
Because without any context,
You're just there like, what the fuck is this?
man, I would even guarantee if they didn't have credits to this film, no one would have a fucking breeze what this film is talking about.
Yeah, you kind of need the credits at the start, maybe. You know, but maybe that's the point. It's like, oh, you should just be just. It's just you know, sensing the immediate experience of the images, rather than caring about the plot or what it means.
Yeah, imagine like if you were watching this for the first time, like if you're like one of the first people to see this, and you watch this and like that is one of the most fucked up films I've ever seen, and then the credits roll and it's like these were, you know, God, Son of God, Mother Earth. You're like, oh, that completely recontextualizes what the film is.
Yeah, it's a cool trick. Yeah, definitely. But you know, this is also 480p on YouTube. You'd be like, you get to a point where you're like, this is just weird. You know, you need to kind of know.
I can't see a fucking thing.
Yeah. The modern viewer, I think, needs to have some kind of idea what's going on.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Glad we watched it though.
I'm glad I watched it. Absolutely, yeah.
It's one off the
list.
film bucket list. You know,
Film bucket list. Yeah.
these films that, like, you know, I've been meaning to watch for literally years.
Yeah, one off the block.
Yeah, we go for a wee break.
Ah, yeah.
We're back.
No, an ish.
We're back again. Tell you what, I went to the cinema.
Oh,
I went to the cinema
very good.
and I saw the best film of 2021.
That's what I want to hear.
Palme d'Or winner.
Palme d'Or.
Cannes.
Cannes.
Titane. Titan. I don't know.
French film.
Same director of Raw, which I talked about before. Raw is a very good film that I recommend for everyone that can stomach a bit of cringe, gross out, wince-inducing
Bit of hair eating
stuff. Julia Ducournau. Can you pronounce that?
Ducournau.
Anyway.
Ducournau.
French director. This is her second film. She had a short film came out before Raw, and then she was a co-director for another film before Raw. But then Raw was her proper first directorial debut. Amazing film that I love, like love Raw. Titane is her follow-up to that film. And wowooey. Wowooey. Jesus, this film.
Baba Booey.
Minor spoilers for this film.
This woman's only 38 years old.
Yeah, she is some fucking director, man.
She won the Palme d'Or.
So the plot of
Titane.
because I don't know how it's pronounced. Is a girl is in a car crash when she's like 6, 7, 8. And has a metal plate put into her head after the car crash. And the car crash, she's with her dad. And develops a bit of a metal fetish from that point on.
Mishima style.
Ends up fucking a car.
We've all been there.
And gets pregnant by the car. And it's a body horror film. And I'm going to talk about the first 30 minutes of this film first, because I saw this film in IFI for the IFI French Film Festival that's going on at the moment. And I saw this at a packed out IFI screen number 1, big cinema, and completely packed, everyone wearing their masks, which is nice to see.
Yeah, I didn't know they'd brought that back.
Yeah,
that you could sit beside people.
Yeah, oh man, shoulder to shoulder, we were
shoulder to shoulder.
Wrap my arm around the corner beside me, he's like, man, look at this fucking movie. She's not that fucking a car. First 30 minutes of this film is probably the most violent 30 minutes of cinema I've ever sat through. Like, in terms of, like, it starts off extreme and it ups it like, it's constant. Every scene, you're seeing something and you're wincing and you're like, oh, Jesus. Like, there's one bit where she's making out with this girl who is the same actor as in Raw. I don't know the actor's name, but the two girls are making out and she like pulls up her top whatever and she starts like kissing her breast whatever, but your one has nipple piercings in and she starts like really focusing on that metal on her nipple and like starts biting it. And man, I don't know if it was if it was real or not.
Surely not.
But Jesus, I did not know a human nipple could stretch that far, because she starts biting and pulling, and you're wincing now, man. In the cinema, everyone was just like, oh no, like cringing into their seats.
Wait, how far does it go?
Oh man, like a solid inch. Like way further than you think, like an inch or two, like way further than you think. Like it's on the verge of ripping. And you're like, oh my god.
Just imagine you see.
I was like, oh man, oh my god, man, I was properly grabbing my chest, like, oh fucking hell. And like this is after she's murdered someone with a fucking stick in it. Shiv basically in their ear, and like, oh fucking it. And like, again, similar thing in Raw, the violence in Ducarano, I don't know, fucking Julia, we're just gonna say Julia.
Ducarano. In
Julia's films, Jesus, it is so like impactful. So I don't know what it is about it. The sound design or something about it. Fucking hell, it is like wince inducing. And that continues on for a solid like 30 minutes at that peak. There's a bit where, and it mixes in a bit of comedy to like lighten it. Like there's a fucking brilliant scene where she basically goes on a rampage in the house, murdering like 3 or 4 people, and like there's a bit where she's after murdering 2 people, and those 2 bits you're wincing after what's happened. Like she goes to stab someone with the fucking metal chopstick that she has, but she misses and it's stuck in the person's cheek. And the person looks at her and she's like, what the, because she doesn't realize that she was like, before that they were like making out, and then she stabs her and she like pulls back and she's got this fucking metal thing in her face, and she like looks at her and it's like this moment like, what the fuck are you, did you just do that? And then she takes it out and finishes her off. Guy comes down, gets annihilated with a chair in the jaw, and then someone comes like down the stairs, and your one goes, how many of you are in this house? And she goes up trying to kill them, and then someone else comes out, and you're just like, when the 4th fellow comes out, everyone in the audience was laughing. It's like, this is absurd, like it's funny,
kind of slapstick,
but it's also like, oh, she is like fucking these people up, and you're like, oh, what's she gonna do to this guy? Anyway, those 30 minutes go by. I was sitting in the row D, so it was the 4th row down. I saw at least 5 or 6 people get up and leave.
Oh, really?
I've never seen that before.
That's cool, though.
Yeah.
I've never seen that in a film.
It encouraged me to keep going. I was like, I'm better than you. I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
Man.
That's such a French thing.
It is.
Like a can kind of thing.
Yeah, like people get up and walking out of the cinema. I've never had that before.
Yeah.
And to be honest, like it was at the point where I was like, if this keeps going at this level of violence, I'm not going to be able to handle this. I can't sit here for an hour and a half, nearly 2 hour long film, and it keeps up with this level of violence. Thankfully, it stops. 30 minutes into the film, after being put through some of the most visceral violence I've ever seen, it completely stops, and the film changes and shifts into something entirely different. And it's like, oh, okay, grand. And then the film becomes about, it's basically a gender dysphoria film. Like that's what it's a film about, the fluidity of gender, using, you know, like metal and machinery and stuff like that to like convey that, because like she becomes pregnant by the car and she has a baby, and the baby is metallic and she's like leaking oil and stuff like that, and she has like, her stomach is expanding like way further, like as if she had fucking like triplets in her stomach, but it's only one baby. And her skin is like, she's like scratching herself, and her finger goes like into her stomach at one point because a little hole perks up. Ooh, great use of body horror in the film. But the film is really about parental love, you know, a father that ends up like, you know, loving her regardless of like who she identifies as, what gender she identifies as. Doesn't really matter, because the dad is just like, I don't care who you are. He literally says at one stage, I don't care who you are, I love you. And it's like, that's what the film ends up being. It's a trans narrative, more so than anything else. And it becomes this extremely wholesome, heartwarming film, while also being tinged with some of the most gross out body horror I've ever seen. And I don't understand how the fuck the film manages to do that. There's a point where I think it's like 10 or 15 minutes towards the end, and like things I had no idea. Like at one stage I was like, how much longer this film is, like, because I'd felt like it could be 45 minutes or that have passed. I have no idea how long I've been sitting in the cinema, and I looked at my watch, and I was an hour and a half in. I was like, did not feel that at all.
That's always good.
Yeah,
that's always good.
Didn't feel that at all. And like the film was like getting into like wrapping up, and I saw an elderly couple get up and leave.
An elderly couple.
Like this.
How did they hear about it?
Because I think it was like, oh, the IFI French Film Festival, let's go see the Palme d'Or winner.
Yeah.
And then they saw this. But I was like, you're after sitting through the most violent 30 minutes of cinema I've ever seen, and you're near the end of it, and that's the point that you decide to get up and leave.
Yeah, when it's not as violent.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck are you doing?
You should have said it to them.
I was like,
here, get back here.
What the fuck are you doing? Sit down. But it's great. Like, you know, if you're reading, like, I don't want to really go into too much of a reading of the film, because I think a lot of people should see this film. I think it definitely should win best foreign language film. It 100% should. I don't think it will, because it's a horror film, and the Oscars don't like horror films.
Yeah, but what would it be up against?
See, that's but like, you know that there's gonna be some fucking film that comes out and like, I've never heard of this film.
Some Hungarian film about like trees or something. Yeah,
it's like, oh well, I guess that's the winner. You know.
Yeah, it sounds good though, but that first half an hour, I don't know if I'd have to watch this at home. You know, I don't think I could do that. I think I wouldn't have walked out of principle probably. Plus,
I spent money on this.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Plus, I don't like, because like you're surrounded by people. I'd never get up anyway. Like if I was dying for a piss, I wouldn't get up. That's
the thing. I sat down and I was like, and the violence was happening. I was like I'm not gonna get up and leave. But if I wanted to get up and leave, there was no way.
Yeah.
There's no way I would do it. So my ears just popped, and I thought there was something wrong with the headphones. I wouldn't get up and leave. Like, I was like, out of principle, and also that's embarrassing. Don't want to get up and leave.
That's embarrassing. Yeah, man. Because like you were there with people, like
I was there with 3 other people. Like we were all sitting separate areas, and like Isabel was with me, and like Isabel doesn't really like violent films, so.
Yeah, how'd she get on?
Oh, she loved it.
Yeah,
she loved the film. I was like, how did you find the first 30 minutes? She was like, oh, I had my eyes closed for the majority of it.
Yeah,
but like, I loved it at the end. Like, because it's a film about love and about acceptance, like the film completely shifts. So then after she commits all these murders, she has to go on the run, obviously. And she goes into it's like a train station or like a bus station or something, and she's in the bathroom, and she like shaves her head, and she like shaves off her eyebrows because she sees like a poster of like someone that's missing, and they keep bringing it up in the film, and then it's just like that this kid, the search continues for this kid that went missing like 17 years ago, and she like looks at herself and she's like, I still don't look like that kid, so she tries to like punch herself in the nose and break it, and that doesn't work, and then her eyes just glance down at the sink that she's at, and the entire audience just went, oh no, like there was literally a groan from everyone in the audience, and she like, you know, measures up her face to it and like her nose, and then she just rams her face into it and breaks her nose.
No.
And it's like, like that's the type of violence that's in the film.
Yeah.
It's mutilation, self-mutilation, stuff like
Fuck that.
that.
The nose.
But that's the best thing. Like the nose is the peak, and then from that we move on to a completely different film. That's like beautiful is the only word I can describe it. So loving and so funny, like really, really funny. There's loads of like bits that you will end up laughing at. And the dad character is this man that's like lost his son and has now refound his son, like in his eyes, because she pretends to be his son, and like that's where the film completely changes. Meanwhile, she's trying to hide the fact that she's pregnant, and also
with a
car, and also that like she's trying to hide the fact that she's her body, the body of a woman, whereas she's identifying for this man as a man. So there's obviously like gender stuff going on there. And by the end of the film, it is kind of a now that I'm saying it is a coming out story, because she has to like she reveals herself at one stage to be female, and he's like, yeah, I don't care, I still love you, you're still my son. And I'm only thinking about it now. I was thinking about this film the entire way through of it being like a trans, like a female to male story. But now I'm actually thinking about it, it's a male, like for the father's perspective, it's a male to female transition. And he's like, oh no, it's fine, I still love you, you're still my child. And that's what the whole story is. Which is, trans women are always women. So that's how that kind of works. That reading of the film works that way. Really, really good. Really, really good film.
How does the car come into it at the end?
The car?
Or is that like a spoiler?
Man, it's like not brought up at all. I think the whole thing about like the car...
Yeah, is that something to do with the plate or whatever, trauma in the past?
See, I think that like she's like her job is... She's like... car shows, I've never been to a car show, but like car shows that have like women dancing on cars and stuff like that?
Yeah.
That's her job. And like, so like, sexuality and, cars and machinery, which are very masculine things, are like seen throughout the film. And the fact that she has sex with a car and she's like tied up in the car, kind of, well, fucking the car, like she's riding that fucking
is she inside
gear
the
stick.
car?
Oh yeah, she's inside the car on the gear stick. I don't know, whale of a time she is.
So what are automatic cars? I suppose they have a gear stick as well.
Yeah, but they've a handbrake, I'm sure they'll do the job. That car is having a whale of a time too. Let me say, that thing is bouncing up and down, its lights flashing, it's having a great time.
That's gas.
But so like metal in the film is definitely like a masculine thing, like a masculine force in the film. So if you read into the film that way, and you look at the fact that she was in a car crash with her dad, you can kind of read that being something else happening with her father, some other form of a traumatic event happening. It's not explicitly said in the film that that's what it is, but there's hints at the fact that the dad, her biological dad, doesn't, like, their relationship is frayed. They don't really talk anymore. And if you look at that, there's a metal plate in her head. This traumatic event has physically scarred her. And then she, has this metal fetish, and she's like, maybe like abused by men, like the car fucking her and stuff like that. And then she has her stomach and stuff like that. Is like bits of metal are bulging out of it. There's a bit where like her stomach splits, and you can see like this like chrome metallic titanium womb essentially that's popping out and stuff like that. It's like you can read into the film that way as well, and like the father then that has adopted her, accepts that, like, he's like, yeah, this is fine, don't worry about it. And like there's a bit where like he turns away in horror, and she's like wincing in pain. He's like, okay, let's I accept this, let's do this, let's make sure that you're okay and stuff like that.
That sounds rough.
It is rough, but it's also like, really heartwarming. There's a beautiful dance scene in the film. There's 2 great dance scenes, and that you can also the second one you can kind of read into in terms of sexuality and stuff like that.
Because you can't beat a dance scene these days.
You can't beat a
There's
dance
something about
scene, man. Nothing better.
Yeah.
Nothing better than a good boogie.
Are they more prevalent these days or something? I feel like they are.
I don't know. I've definitely seen way more films that have dance scenes.
Yeah.
The best, and even like in terms of TV show, the best scene in It's Always Sunny is the dance scene in It's Always Sunny.
Oh, really?
When Mac's gay. It's like a recurring joke throughout It's Always Sunny.
Yeah.
And then they, for an episode that's like he comes out to his dad and he does a true dance, and the dance is his relationship with God and stuff like that. And I watched it stoned, and I was almost in tears. Like, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
Yeah. Yeah, there's something about it. Like, Another Round had a great dance sequence.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw that.
I haven't seen it yet.
But it's very, very good.
Because it's just like bodies, like you can emote so much with your body.
Yeah.
So dancing helps with that.
Pure experience.
Yeah.
Pure experience.
Also, loads of dancing in John Malkovich as well.
Very true, very true.
Which is our recommended film
of the 2 weeks.
Of the 2 weeks. Being John Malkovich, directed by Spike Jonze, written by the great Shirley Kaufman.
Starring John Cusack and John Malkovich.
And John Malkovich and Cameron Diaz and Catherine Keener.
Whoever that is.
Okay, Being John Malkovich. Plot synopsis. One day at work, unsuccessful puppeteer Craig finds a portal into the head of actor John Malkovich. The portal soon becomes a passion for anybody who enters its mad and controlling world of overtaking another human body.
Yeah, this film is not what I expected it to be at all.
Oh, this movie's mad.
Not what I perceived it to be, because everyone knows about this film.
Everyone's mad that I've seen this film. 1999, everyone's seen this film.
Yeah, hugely famous film. Everyone knows it. But I had never seen it. I'd only seen those Sky One clip shows they used to do?
Yeah.
It's like, craziest moments in films, greatest characters in film history and all this stuff. I'd only seen clips from it and people talking about it on like those clip shows.
Yeah.
I always had this idea that it was just like a vanity piece for John Malkovich or something. Because that's what you like naturally assume.
Yeah.
Being John Malkovich, but like that's the actor, that's his actual name, and he's the main character in the film. But he's not even the main character really, and also
he's just the main subject matter.
Yeah. Also, it's not even really about him, and it was written before he even got involved.
Mm-hmm.
And John Cusack is like the main guy.
Yeah.
For the first, hour.
And he looks like shit.
He's in bits. He's in bits.
He looks so bad.
Yeah.
He kind of looks like David Foster Wallace. Did you get that?
Yeah. He would have been good as they did a film with him. Didn't
they did have.
They had Seagal or something.
Jason Segal, yeah. Who also looked really good in that film.
Yeah, I never saw it though, but John Cusack is a great actor.
Yeah.
A great actor.
He's not in much, but he is very good.
Very good.
I've only ever seen him in shit movies for the most part.
Yeah, 2012 and all.
And Cell. Did you ever see Cell?
I've never seen Cell.
Cell is so bad.
With Sam Jackson.
Yeah, it's so bad.
But yeah, Being John Malkovich, not what I expected whatsoever. It's very, very Kaufman though.
Very, very Kaufman. And it's also Spike Jonze's directorial debut. Like, how the fuck do you make this your first film?
Yeah.
In terms of actually pulling it off.
Also, like, how do you get this script made?
Yeah.
Because this script, Kaufman wrote the script, like, on spec. Like, he wrote it without any kind of involvement from anyone else. He wrote it by himself. And it was called Being John Malkovich. It's about John Malkovich. Like, if that didn't work, like, people would just be like, that's Kaufman. That's the guy who wrote a script about John Malkovich for no reason. Like, that guy's a fucking weirdo.
That guy's a freak.
Yeah, he's a freak, But he got Spike Jonze involved because of
Coppola,
yeah, you're saying it's like a bit of nepotism or something. But Spike Jonze is a great director anyway. Like,
yeah, because he only did like skateboard videos and music videos before this.
Yeah, he was huge in the skate scene, and he kind of worked his way up in just like working on the streets, literally on the streets. But yeah, his father-in-law was Francis Ford Coppola.
Something like that. He's some relation to.
And because Jones got attached to Kaufman's script, and that's how it got to John Malkovich. Because Jones was like, here, father-in-law, please send this on to John Malkovich.
Sort this out.
Yeah. And then he got a meeting with John Malkovich for Spike Jonze, and they basically had to basically talk John Malkovich down from like,
I'm not doing this.
Yeah, sending them down to security or something, like calling the cops, because it's just an insane idea. The whole idea is absolutely flat out insane. The fact that it's a real person.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
It's so weird. It's even like, it's like, it's about this portal that goes into John Malkovich's head, and like no real reason for it, just is.
Just is, yeah.
John Malkovich is really great in this film.
He is very good, yeah.
He's fantastic in this film.
Yeah.
Charlie Sheen's also in this movie.
Yeah. That is weird though.
Oh, I saw Charlie Sheen, I was like, yeah, this is 1999.
And he plays himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very cool though. But it's very funny film.
Great black comedy.
Yeah, also Cameron Diaz in this. She's amazing. She's by far the best part about this film.
She's by a mile the best.
I had no idea she was doing stuff like this back then. Because this was...
And she's like not glamorous at all.
Yeah, she's real like frumpy, kind of like quirky, like strange character.
Yeah.
Very, very strange. She's not like a sex symbol or whatever. But like, when did she start? When did she get big?
I have no idea.
Because there's something about Mary was 98. I know that was big for her in her career. But then this is the year after, and she's already doing like these mad art house films.
I have no
where
idea.
She's like playing the opposite of what you perceive her to be.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how her career panned out, but like, or how it like started, but I found it so bizarre that she was in it.
Yeah,
I did not expect that at all.
And she's great in it as well.
She's so good. Yeah,
like everyone is fantastic in this film.
Because the premise is what the premise has nothing to do with John Malkovich, pretty much. It's like a three-way love triangle. Oh, obviously it's a love triangle between Craig.
It's a four-way love triangle.
It's a four-pointed triangle. It's a Craig, John Cusack's character, Lottie, Cameron Diaz's character, and then Maxine.
Mm-hmm.
And Maxine works with Craig at this weird office place.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
The office, for some reason, like the office is at like, it's on level 7.5, so the office is half sized. So they're all walking around hunched over.
Really, really low ceilings.
Yeah, I thought they'd explain why that was, but like they just didn't.
No, not really. I think like the world of this film is so weird, and I think it does a great job of like setting up its weirdness as like, yeah, like it's just an office building, 7.5. Like all the roofs are really small. All the people in the office are really weird. And there's also a portal into John Malkovich's head.
Yeah, just behind.
Like when the portal comes into it, you're like, yeah, fine.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it's so bizarre. But yeah, Craig is trying to get out with Maxine because he's like kind of smitten with her. She's like, she works in the office. Everyone in the office is really weird. They all mishear the part where Craig is in the office and he's talking to the secretary and he's talking to the
Dr. Lester.
Lester. And they're all they keep mishearing him. That was like driving me mad. I was like, these people, like, oh, it was just like so annoying. But like, that's obviously the point.
That fucking secretary.
It's very funny though. Yeah, the secretary. Yeah. She thinks he's like sexually harassing her, and he's just like, no. He's like pure Kaufman kind of character. He's like, no, I think you're misunderstanding what I'm saying.
Again, Kaufman is clearly in this movie where he's the pathetic incel character.
Yeah. And then he's married. He's married to Lottie. Cameron Diaz back in the gaff, and they have like a monkey.
They have chimpanzees, they have iguanas, they have fucking everything.
They have all these mad animals and stuff. And he has this pining for this other woman in the office, but at the same time he has like Lottie at home, and like you feel like it's gonna play out. Or obviously it's a Kaufman film, so you're like something's gonna happen here. But in a conventional understanding, you'd be like, Craig's trying to get with Maxine. This is gonna be like, Lottie's gonna find out at some stage. You can see where it's going.
Yeah.
But it reverses it.
Yeah,
it just turns the tables like out of nowhere.
It's like because the portal to John Malkovich's head just changes that dynamic entirely.
Yeah. The portal completely changes it because Maxine, once they find out about the portal, Craig and Maxine are like, we're gonna make money off this, and
either way as well, Maxine never even tries it out, but she just accepts that that's a real thing. She's like, yeah, you're not crazy.
Yeah,
I'm sure this is real.
Yeah. And she decides to get with John Malkovich. But in the meantime, Craig has showed the portal to Lottie. And Lottie is in John Malkovich's body for like 15 minutes at a time, however long is allowed by the portal, and she ends up like developing a relationship with Maxine.
Yeah,
via John Malkovich.
She also realizes that she's trans.
Yeah, that's a huge part of it. That's the whole point, pretty much, of the film. Which I had no idea this film was about that.
I was amazed. I was like, because like it is such a great like thought experiment. It's like if you could literally live inside someone's head for like 50 minutes and experience everything that they could.
I think that would be addictive.
I imagine that a lot of people would realize, oh shit, I am trans.
yeah. Well, I think it's like the thrill of it or something, you know, or like because there's a huge. It's part of the plot point when they develop it into like a business where they're making money off it. They charge people $200 and they're placing ads in the newspapers. Which just says, do
you want to be someone else?
Yeah, do you want to be someone else? If you could be someone else for 15 minutes, would you? And like people are lining up around the little mini corridors in the office block. Like people want to be someone else, even if it's only for a fleeting moment. They want to escape whatever, wherever they feel trapped in their lives, you know, their mind, you know, to experience something outside their usual kind of day-to-day lives, you know.
The mundanity. Because like when I was watching it, and you have like Craig, who's like this struggling artist who like, you know, has to be forced into this office job, and like the literal like weight of the office makes him hunch over because it's all like cramped and narrow. Like it is like mad Kaufman-esque like that. But that it completely shifts from that point. Like that's just like that's just kind of a note that's in the film that you look at like that.
The
premise. But then
it turns around.
Then it turns it into something completely different and something completely existential. And not in terms of like the capitalist pressures on people, whatever. It's like 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 identity and gender and sexuality all come into question if you could experience like everything from someone else's point of view.
Yeah. It's very good how it does that. Because I had no idea that was going to happen, you know. They just kind of pull the rug from under your feet.
Yeah.
And suddenly it's about something else altogether. Because initially Lottie is set up as like a side character. She's set up as the poor wife left in the gaff while Craig runs off and has his fun with Maxine. But she becomes the main character very, very quickly.
Oh yeah, she is the main character.
Yeah, within the first half an hour.
Because Craig's an absolute fucking psychopath.
Yeah. Because you start out, it's like, being John Malkovich, it's about John Malkovich. No, wait, it's about John Cusack, who's also in this film for some reason. Oh wait, it's about Cameron Diaz. Yeah, you know,
it's actually about Lottie.
Yeah, it's about Lottie. Yeah, I thought that was mad. That she's like the trans kind of reading there.
Yeah, and she goes into John Malkovich, and then Maxine she doesn't have sex with John Malkovich yet. She goes on a dinner date with him, and Lottie sees Maxine through the eyes of John Malkovich, which allows her to just have pure. I don't know how to phrase it, but like just to look at her, like just to properly like look at her without any like
with different eyes,
but like without the constraints of, you know,
of her being Lottie.
She can just look at her like from like literally from a male perspective, I guess. Not from a male perspective, but like just
from a third point of view or something like that.
And she falls in love with her. And she's like, she's the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. And
even when she first gets into his body, when she's first shown by Craig, and he's in the shower, and she's like fiddling around with all the different like you know,
all the
bits and bobs, and she's like, whoa,
she's like, oh shit, this feels right.
Yeah.
I was not expecting that from the film at all. And I was like, that's cool. That's because like that is what would happen.
Oh yeah.
Like someone would go into that, would have something like that happen to them. I'm like, yeah, no, I am trans.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
But then you have, Craig is a puppeteer. That's what he does. That's what his dream is. And he like
that's such a Kaufman thing.
It is such a Kaufman thing.
He's a puppeteer.
But the reason why he loves being a puppeteer is that he likes to, you know, live in other people's skin. Like he sees like he's controlling people essentially when he's a puppeteer. So
idealizing them, getting them to do what he wants.
Yeah. Like he has a puppet of himself and Maxine. And he they start kissing and they start like grinding on each other. Maxine would not touch him with a 10-foot pole because he is rotten looking.
Yeah, he's in bits.
But in his fantasy world, he can do that. But then when he gets into John Malkovich's head, he realizes I have a bit more control here. Like I can actually wear him like a glove and like take over John Malkovich's mind, and so he tricks Maxine because Maxine has an agreement with Lottie, which is like, Maxine's like, yeah, Lottie, I really like you, but like, I really like you when you're in Malkovich because I can see like two people in love with me at the same time. And she's like, in a similar vein to Craig, she's like playing everyone like puppets as well. She's mad into like power and controlling people. Wasn't a fan of the ending in that term because like Maxine's like kind of like
she gets away scot-free.
She's the bitch.
Yeah, no, she's the villain.
She's the villain of the story until Craig is more of a villain, but she's like part of that plot as well.
Yeah, they're two villains. They deserved each other.
Yeah, and then they just get off. She gets off scot-free. Like she manipulated everyone in the situation.
The ending altogether is pretty fucked up, you know.
Yeah,
but like, yeah, it's like. But after that, because like it's only halfway in what we've talked about. Because then there's like this whole other thing, where I don't know, the boss, Craig's boss in the building, is actually, I don't know, he's like 150 years old.
He's part of a cult.
He's part of some kind of cult where they've figured out how to transfer their consciousnesses into younger bodies and survive basically indefinitely. Live forever in different vessels. And they started out as an Irish immigrant traveling over to New York.
It's just like fucking Halloween 3 all over again.
yeah, it's the Irish. It's the Irish. And he built like this business up. And then he was able to transfer his consciousness into this other guy, Lester. And his body is like decaying at this stage. And the way that they transfer bodies is through this portal. And to hide the portal, they built an office block around it.
Mm-hmm.
And the next vessel that they're scheduled to enter on the 44th birthday of the vessel is John Malkovich, like the actor, like in the story, like, and so that's obviously all thrown awry when Craig and Maxine just find out about the portal, and Craig is suddenly occupying Malkovich's body, and so Lottie and Lester have to work together with the other like ghostly old people to reclaim Malkovich's. It's like, what's happening?
Gonna be honest, thought that I like when the cult stuff came to like this. I did not like that.
I thought it was kind of in sync with the story.
Yeah, but I just like, oh really?
Yeah, no, it's a bit stupid. Like, it's a bit stupid. It's a bit complicated for complication's sake. Like,
yeah, because I was really into it, and then when that came into, it's like, oh really? I'm a fan of this now. Because I liked it. I liked everything when it was just like, Craig like taking control of Malkovich and like being able to, like, he's a fucking loser, but then when he's John Malkovich, he's fucking John Malkovich. He can do whatever he wants. He's rich and he's famous, and so he can become a puppeteer, like a really, really famous puppeteer.
Yeah, and that's the whole sequence is very, very funny.
Yeah, it's like John Malkovich has changed the world of puppeteering. You got fucking Sean Penn.
Yeah,
Sean Penn is like, man, I feel like more of us actors are going to become puppeteering.
Yeah, it's like the medium's kind of been done. We're going to all move into puppeteering. It's very funny, very, very, very meta. Like, because the initial impression that I always had was that this is like a vanity thing.
Yeah,
but like it's all taking the piss out of John Malkovich, like all of it. It's so,
and
like actors in general. Like.
And everyone's just like, yeah, he's kind of famous, but he's not that famous. Yeah, and John Malkovich is great in this film.
He's so good.
Because he's like playing a character, like he's playing a caricature of himself. But the bits where like people are like taking him over like a little bit is like really, his acting in it is really well done.
Yeah,
like you can feel like that, like
the frustration,
like the frustration. But like when Craig, for the first time, has Malkovich say something, like it does feel like Malkovich is being taken over by someone and he's fighting against it, because he says something. It's like, what the fuck? I didn't say that. It's like something's controlling me. It's like I didn't want to grab like the chair or whatever. I didn't want to do that, but like my body's like going against me. Yeah,
when he's having sex with Maxine.
Yeah,
he's like, that wasn't me.
That wasn't me. He's like,
that wasn't me.
It's like I didn't do that. Someone else did that.
Oh, that'd be good. But
classic excuse, John.
Classic Malkovich.
We've all tried that one, John.
Yeah.
Wasn't me.
But yeah,
I'm not into that.
But yeah, the whole cult thing's very unnecessary. But I think they needed a reason narratively.
You need a third act.
yeah, because it kind of, I don't know, like it kind of ran out of steam. Or they would have had to find some other reason for like a kind of showdown, or to like lure Craig out of Malkovich's body. But it was very, very, very stupid. Yeah.
But it is all about like control, like controlling people
Mm.
and experiencing things, whatever.
Yeah, identity, the mind. What is the mind? You know.
It's a cool like thought experiment played out in the film.
Yeah, yeah.
I was at one stage I was extremely satisfied because I was just like, I was sitting there and I was like, what would happen if John Malkovich goes into the hole? Like, what does he see then?
But he did go into the hole, didn't he?
He does, but it was before that. Like,
Oh,
it was
yeah.
literally the scene before, and I was like, what would happen if John Malkovich goes into the hole? And we get to see that.
Yeah.
It's like loads of John. He's like in a weird restaurant, and there are loads of John Malkovich eyes around,
Yeah.
and they're like John Malkovich as like the head of John Malkovich with like giant boobs and the woman and stuff like that.
Yeah, that was very funny. That was very good stuff. But yeah, it's a good one though.
It is a good one.
It's a good one.
What you think of the ending then?
The ending's fucked up. I didn't understand the ending at the end. When I first, as I was watching it, I didn't understand what was going on.
Yeah.
Really. I just knew that Maxine and Lottie were like together. Because Maxine had become pregnant by Malkovich, but it had happened while Lottie was inhabiting the body.
So Lottie was the father.
And Craig was within Malkovich, had been in Malkovich for 8 months at that stage and become famous as a puppeteer. So they had to lure Craig out, and that's where the cult come in.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's like a wild kind of caper kind of thing. I wasn't really paying attention really.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how they got him out.
The bit where they go through, like, because when Craig is in John Malkovich, Maxine runs into the hole and Lottie follows after her, and they go through John Malkovich's subconscious, and like it was very much like Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind. I like they're running through, like they go through a door and then they're in somewhere else, and they go through a hatch and then they're like into a different memory, like running through his subconscious and memories and stuff like that.
When they're in the classroom and all.
Yeah. I never knew how many like ways you could take the piss out of John Malkovich's name. What was it, like Malco piss and stuff like that when he pissed himself on the bus. So yeah, by the end then it's just like they get Craig out of the brain of John Malkovich, and the cult leader Lester said like, oh yeah, we have to wait until when the person's 44. That's when they're ripe and you can take them over really easily. But once you miss the 44th birthday, it goes down to the next vessel.
The next vessel, yeah.
And if they're a child, you just get absorbed by the child. Like, you get absorbed by the mind of the child, and you can't exist there. But Craig doesn't know that. And Craig hops into the old tunnel, and we see that Craig is in the next vessel, but the next vessel is Lottie and Maxine's child. She's like 8 or something, and Craig is forever stuck in the mind of this child, and he has to just watch Maxine and Lottie live their lesbian life forever.
Yeah, that's fucked up. You know, because Maxine's, she deserved.
She's a bitch.
She deserved, the same. She deserved the same fate. But yeah, I didn't get that at the end. I was like, what's going on here? But that is fucked up though.
It kind of felt like Black Mirror-y.
Yeah, that's definitely a Black Mirror kind of premise. Yeah.
It's just kind of thought experiment, which is basically Black Mirror. But it was good. It was a good film.
Definitely.
I enjoyed it. The trans thing though kind of got dropped after a while. I felt like they didn't.
Yeah.
I wish they kind of,
because nothing happens at the end. Like, just Malkovich goes back to being Malkovich, but with the cult in his head.
No. He's not. He's taken over by the cult.
Yeah. But he's still. Well, yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
Like John Malkovich is lost.
Yeah.
Poor
He's like
John Malkovich.
yeah, he kind of loses at the end of this.
Yeah.
But he's the victim.
He's the victim.
He's the real victim here. But yeah, they did kind of drop that.
Because I wish like when they flash forward, like Lottie has transitioned. I wish that we saw that,
some development of that arc.
Yeah, I wish it went somewhere. So, and I wish the cult stuff I didn't like. I knew that you needed it for the plot, but I was just like, I wish it wasn't a cult. I just wish it was Lester. If it was just Lester, I'd be down for it.
Yeah,
I don't think that
I didn't cotton on that it was a cult until like I was watching videos back, because I knew there was all those old people in the other room, but I didn't realize that they were also in the body.
Yeah, they were all going into the body.
Like that, there's no need for that.
No.
Just have Lester be like this weird kind of like wizard from the past.
Yeah. Because why is he bringing them with him? He doesn't need to do that.
Sound.
Yes, he is. But like, why would you? Yeah, I guess it's just like, if you
Wait,
help me out.
Like, wait, why are they? Like, are they vessels as well?
No, they're just people.
There's old people.
Just old people that he knows.
But then you'd be trapped in the body of someone else.
Yeah, and you can't.
Can't do anything. That sounds horrible.
Yeah,
There's
I don't know.
prisoners maybe.
Yeah, I
There's
don't know.
victims.
No idea.
Yeah.
Could have done without that. I wish it was. I don't mind it being that Lester was using it the entire time, but I felt like the cult aspect of it wasn't needed, and I don't think you needed to have multiple people going into Malkovich. It could have just been Lester.
Yeah.
Because none of them did anything except for Lester.
There's no point. Yeah, Lester at least contributed. Like he's there at the start, and he's very funny, so it kind of makes sense. But all in all,
still a good film.
All in all, it's still a decent watch.
Yeah,
it's
decent
at
watch.
least an 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gave it a 4 on Letterboxd. So,
Yeah. So
yeah.
Kaufman, you done it again.
You son of a bitch.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah. Have you seen Adaptation?
I have not.
Yeah, that's the film he did after Malkovich.
That's with Cage, is it?
Yeah, Nick Cage is in it,
Yeah.
and Meryl Streep, and there's 2 Kaufmans in that. That's a weird film. I haven't seen that film I watched that film, and I hadn't a fucking breeze what was going on.
When did you watch it?
Years ago, like 4 or 5 years ago.
I have to watch it again. So.
Same thing with Synecdoche. I feel like if I watch Synecdoche as well, I'd understand that better.
We have to watch that, man.
Yeah.
We have to watch that. Schenectady, New York. Schenectady.
Good old Kaufman, mad bastard.
Mad bastard. What's he up to next?
Not much, man. I feel like his films are really hard for him to make because they're just batshit insane.
Yeah. Plus, there's probably a lot of digging deep. It's like therapy sessions probably involved.
Yeah.
This is just about him.
Yeah, but they're also really human. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's about him though.
He gets people.
Yeah.
Have you seen Anomalisa?
No, you're saying that's really good.
That's really good.
Yeah, it was me. That's on Netflix, isn't it? Or was?
It was on Netflix.
Yeah.
That's worth the watch.
Yeah.
But the main character's a mad asshole in it. But that's kind of the point.
All right.
Again, kind of Kaufman-esque. Anytime Kaufman is in one of his films, he's the asshole.
Self-loathing.
Yeah.
You know, he's too smart.
Self-deprecating, but lovable.
Exactly, yeah. The David Foster Wallace vibe.
Yeah, he really did look like David Foster Wallace.
What?
Like I put, Craig.
Yeah.
Because I pulled up a picture for my sister. I was like, that looks like David Foster Wallace, doesn't it? She's like, Jesus, it does. It's like they're taking the piss out of him.
This is before his time, wasn't it? Before he's big, anyway.
99. I don't know.
I can't remember.
I have no idea. I think Infinite Jest came out before 99.
Yeah, it was 95, wasn't it? Actually, yeah.
So he would have been known.
Must have been him. Imagine that.
Must have been.
Coffin's
just making a dig at him.
How you're pathetic villain, like.
This is fucking incel.
Yeah.
Jesus, he was a mad incel.
He was an incel, yeah.
Fucking hell. God. It's pain. Because at the start I was like, oh, is this our main character? Are you for real? And then it's like, oh, it's not. Lottie is.
Yeah, she's way better. God bless Cameron Diaz.
God bless. We move on to listener questions.
Let's do it. If you'd like to ask a question, or give us feedback, or whatever, you can get to us at paro_pod on Twitter or on Instagram. Or you can email us at theparopod@gmail.com.
Our first question is coming in from Liam, and Liam is asking us. Let me pull up the question. Liam is asking us. Based on the Cars talk that we had last week. Well, since you said body, how do the cars in Cars fuck? I think this question was answered in Southland Tales.
Oh, yeah.
One exhaust pipe turns into a penis, one turns into a vagina. The cars mount each other, and they fuck.
Yeah, maybe. But maybe would they not do it in like a different kind of way?
Maybe.
Like, you know the way fish, they spray it everywhere.
Maybe they do. Maybe Lightning McQueen just sprays his goo everywhere.
Yeah, his exhaust fluid is.
Ciao.
Oh, I'm driving.
Shifting gear. Ciao.
Yeah.
And Mater's is like, get her down.
Mater's the bottom.
Oh, Mater is a power bomb.
Oh god.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a disturbing thought. Yeah.
do you think that cars do missionary or anything, or is it just straight up doggy all the time?
They can't do missionary, can they? They
It's
couldn't
too
get
dangerous for them.
up. They couldn't get up. Yeah. There's definitely like.
They can get it up.
Yeah. There's definitely that Rule 34 porno out there about cars. I feel like I've seen it.
Let's look at it right now.
You know those ads you get?
Live reaction right now. Oh wait, Pixar cars.
Oh yeah, you need to clarify.
Fuck up, just look at porn.
Some results may be
I
explicit.
don't want. I don't. Want to, yeah, there we go.
There you go. Yeah.
Oh Jesus!
What's going on? What's this? It's exactly as we theorized.
Yeah, this is basically it is just
Well, that's a different kind of position, isn't it?
yeah.
It's like Kama Sutra.
Yeah, it is exactly how he said. Yeah, it is just
There's
the
not
cars,
much you can do.
the cars
What's-
mount each other.
That car's a dildo. The traffic cone dildo.
Where's this one?
Look, you see the one up to the right.
Oh God, that's the cars from Car 3. That's the one.
Oh, look at that. That's grim.
Oh yeah.
Your algorithm's goose, man.
Yeah, my algorithm is fucked. Guard are gonna knock up to my door tomorrow. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah. They'll be on bikes as well, just in case anything happens.
I feel like Titane might have been a Cars prequel.
Yeah, that's a part of the extended universe, maybe.
So there you go. That's how the cars fuck anyway.
That's pretty good. Yeah, that's interesting. We've answered that question anyway. So
Yeah, there you go. We can now move swiftly on to our next question. This one's coming in from Patrick, and Patrick is asking us, what is the best live action remake, and what is the worst? I'm gonna add in, what's the worst live action remake?
the best live action remake. I'm not sure.
Scooby Doo.
That is a very good live action remake. Here, I'm actually going to look some few up.
In terms of worst one, Lion King. Lion King remake.
Has to be
Easily
up
the
there.
worst. Grey, brown sludge of a film. Just, I mean, I talked about it on the podcast before, but Jesus, that film is so bad. That film is so bad.
Lady and the Tramp. Remember that came out?
Oh, that looks really weird.
It looks really bad. I haven't seen it.
Haven't seen it, but I guarantee it's bad. And no one talks about that film, so
See, they're doing a live action remake of Lilo and Stitch.
that could be really good or really bad.
Yeah, because you feel like that kind of would be suited to it. But
If
it
you can-
depends how it's done, obviously.
It depends on how Stitch looks. If Stitch looks cute,
It looks like a Sonic the Hedgehog kind of thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
I watched Detective Pikachu. That was pretty good.
Yeah. Is that
Well,
good?
it was grand. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it was as good as something like that could have been. The Bulbasaurs were class, and that's all I cared about. I'm part of the Bulbasaur Nation. That's my favorite Pokemon. Hands up for the Bulbasaurs.
The Bulbasaur Nation. Alice in Wonderland maybe kind of slept on.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Mm.
That's a really creepy one as well. Like when she's jumping across the river and there's like the heads.
Yeah, Tim Burton. He's kind of he was like kind of perfect for that, I suppose. Other than that, it's all just Disney films, isn't it?
Most of them are just. Well, yeah. I mean, we're just answering the Disney ones. Basically, are all that you can think of. Because they didn't really do them that often until
recently, yeah.
recently with Disney.
Cheaper Boy doesn't. How's that? Is that a remake?
There must be a remake. There must be an animated thing for it. Transformers is a pretty bad one, or a good one, depending on how you're looking at it.
Oh, I'd say that's actually a very good one.
Oh, the first one anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Second one is the worst. Is one of the worst live action remakes. Yeah, Alice in Wonderland. Paddington. Paddington
Yeah.
is one of the better ones.
Yeah, that's animation, isn't it?
Yeah,
Originally.
or was was Paddington a cartoon or something like that beforehand? I've only ever seen him as a drawing.
I've no idea. No idea.
I'm assuming that was it It was a cartoon beforehand. What do you think about the Jungle Book one? Did you see that one?
Was that remade?
The Jungle Book one with and Christopher Walken as
No.
King Louis. Did you not see that one?
No.
It was grand.
Yeah.
King Louis was massive in it. He was huge. He was like King Kong.
Really?
Yeah, big, huge orangutan.
Was that the first one that they made? I feel like it was. That
It was
ages ago, wasn't
It was definitely one of the first ones because I think they did Cinderella. Because Cinderella's a beloved one.
Oh, there's loads of live action Cinderella films, you know, but even before the animation. Because just looking at the list there, it's all the Jungle Book had it was live action before it was animated. Same as Cinderella, Beauty and the Beast. They're all old black and white films or films from the 40s or the 50s.
Mad.
I'd say they're shite though.
I say they are shite. I'm sure they're shite. Space Jam.
Space Jam.
Yeah, what do you think of Space Jam?
I love Space Jam. I thought Space Jam was great. Oh, I didn't watch the new one though. Obviously not, but
Obviously not.
But I love Space Jam.
SpongeBob SquarePants movie, I guess, counts. It does turn into a live action film.
Yeah, I suppose.
That's a cheeky answer, though.
Yeah,
that is a cheeky answer.
Yeah, that's a bit of a rascal answer there.
Yeah.
Maybe Looney Tunes. What's the one with Brendan Fraser in it?
Looney Tunes with Brendan Fraser.
Yeah. Did you see that?
No.
It's Space Jam, but with Brendan Fraser in it. They're in the jungle.
I have not seen this film.
Looney Tunes action. What's it called? Live action. What's it called?
Sure, there's Jungle as well, and they're just saying Brendan Fraser.
Looney Tunes Back in Action. 2003.
Never seen that film.
You've never seen that?
No.
Nah, you have.
Show me a photo over there.
I've
never seen that
film. You've never
film.
seen that? Come on. I don't remember anything about it, but I remember it being good. Has Brendan Fraser in it. And Timothy Dalton. And Steve Martin.
Mad.
That can't be bad.
That can't be bad. There's too much good going on. Man, I'm looking at this list here, and cheeky answers coming into here. It's like The Dark Knight.
Ah, come on.
Come on, you can't count like Marvel films. Stuff. I'm not counting that.
Yeah, come on. Like,
Get
you just want to be top of every list.
Yeah, no.
We need a bit of variety here.
We need something that was like a proper cartoon.
Yeah.
I think like Looney Tunes, something like that.
Yeah, Looney Tunes probably. Yeah.
I'm gonna stick with Scooby Doo. Scooby Doo has aged beautifully.
They need more, maybe.
Maybe. I want more. Like,
actually, no. Did they?
Maybe not. But like,
yeah, maybe not.
Did you see the Dora Explorer one?
No, I feel like I saw a clip.
That's just such a weird one.
Is that out?
That is out. Yeah. Dora the Explorer in the Lost City or something like that.
Oh god. Oh, I saw the poster anyway. Yeah.
It's like so confusing. Like that's such a weird concept.
Yeah, why?
I have no idea.
Why? That's like way more expensive than animating it, you know. But less people will watch it.
Yeah, because it's gonna be bad.
yeah, because there's known it's gonna be bad.
Because it's not gonna. But it might not be bad, but it sure as fuck isn't gonna be good.
It's not gonna be as good as the animation anyway. So you're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place there. You know?
I'd love a Simpsons live action just to see what that looks like.
I would not like that at all. Well, they might as well go. If they're gonna ruin the legacy, they might as well go the whole hog and make a live action kind of thing. You know?
Yeah. What if they just didn't? If they didn't make them yellow, if they just had like.
If they're just normal people.
They're just normal people, but like that's Homer, that's Marge, that's Maggie, that's whatever.
That'd be I don't know.
What's the point?
Yeah, what's the point?
What's the point?
It's just a sitcom. Yeah. Well, they could do that and like make it like really realistic, like a neo-realist kitchen sink drama. You know, but it's like imagine that. That could be a good idea.
Yeah,
like
that could
a reimagining
like
of
a Ken Loach one.
Ken Loach Simpsons. Yeah. It's just about the work. Like Homer's a working class man trying to.
Yeah, struggling, and Bart goes to juvie or something like that.
Yeah.
I can see that happening.
I can see that. Well, I can't see it happening, but
yeah,
I think it'd
love
be
to
cool.
see it.
I'd love to see it happen. Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, we leave it at that.
We'll leave it there. So, our
recommended film.
Our recommended film for episode 69.
Yeah, we did it, boys. We fucking made it.
Our final episode. But episode 69, our recommended film is going to be David Cronenberg's 1995 masterpiece, Crash.
One of the horniest movies ever made.
One of the horniest films ever made. Also involves cars and sex. So
we're on a buzz at the moment.
we're on a bit of a buzz. It's maybe a bit worrying for people looking in from the outside, but be assured.
Stay with us, boys. I promise it won't get too weird.
Stay with us. There's a very clear conclusion at the end,
And
we're going to find out what that is in the next recommended film
the
episode.
next 2 episodes.
The next 2 episodes. Yeah.
All right, we leave it there.
We'll leave it there. So, good night and God bless.
Bye.